Salam sehat sobat dari Bali. Bersama saya jumpa lagi dengan Tirka Widanti dalam acara Chit-Chat East meets West. Bincang santai dengan teman-teman dari mancanegara yang berkunjung ke Bali baik dalam waktu dekat maupun dalam waktu yang panjang. Nah, mengapa mereka datang ke Bali? Mengapa atau apa yang mereka lakukan di Bali? Yuk kita langsung sapa Ibu Kate Druhan. Ibu Kate dari mana? Where are you from, Bu?
I'm from Australia.
You from where part in Australia?
Canberra. Ibu kota.
Ibu kota. Jadi besar sekali ya ininya ya, the biggest city in Australia.
Not the biggest, but it is the capital.
The capital.
And actually it's quite small.
Ibu kota. Oh, so I heard that Australia's ibu kota, the capital city, move or change for sometimes. Can you tell me more about that one?
Yeah, I think originally the capital, Ibu kota, was Sydney.
Oh, ibu kota yang pertama Australia itu Sydney.
And then the government purpose-built a new capital in Canberra. So actually this city is on very old, like everywhere in Australia, first Australians, Aboriginal, Indigenous Australian land, but it was purpose-built as the capital city. So it's actually a very new city and very beautifully organised.
In Canberra.
Everything flows, no traffic.
No traffic.
Yeah.
So actually first one was Sydney and second one is Canberra. So, lovely. So
But they're a very beautiful city, but some people say it doesn't have much personality, much character.
or maybe because it is new, or I don't
I
know.
think because it's new and also everything was made to plan. So there is nothing very organic about it.
Well, Ibu Kate, so first I would like to say that thank you for making your time today for me, for dari Bali, untuk teman-teman dari Bali juga ya. Kita akan dengarkan chit-chatnya, kita akan dengarkan sharingnya dari Ibu Kate Druhan. So before coming to Bali, what did you do in Australia, in Canberra particularly?
Well, thank you for asking, and thank you for inviting me for the chit-chat, because
Chit-chat.
you know I love a chit-chat.
Sama ya, same like
Have a chit-chat
chit-chat,
with you.
ya, ngobrol begitu.
So before I came to Indonesia, I went to school in Canberra. I studied in Canberra, and I started my career with the government, the federal government or the national government in Canberra. And I worked in human resource management.
Human resource, so that's why you are so touching with the human people community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also did some work in corporate governance, and I also did some work in big contract management when the government outsourced some program delivery, and some other things. Very interesting work and very busy work. Very busy with my partner, our three children, three small children.
Three small children.
Very, very busy.
Very
and then we took
So busy, domestic busy and public busy.
Just busy.
Just busy.
Never not busy. Crazy, crazy,
But
crazy.
still has time to chit-chat.
Always.
Always. That's interesting.
Always
Yeah,
time.
always time.
Always
Yes,
time.
like me.
Yeah.
So
you always need time for the chit chat.
yeah, women.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to laugh.
To love,
Yes.
and to smile,
Yes.
to love.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Like that. Okay. So you were in Australia, and then now you are in Bali. So I mean, I would like to ask you, how long have you been in Bali?
I've been in Bali for, I think, getting close to 11 years.
11 years old, getting to hampir 11 tahun katanya sudah ada di Bali. When was your first time in Bali? I mean, before this period of time, before this 11 years period of time, did you visit Bali first, or tell me more about that one?
So you know Australians love coming to Bali.
I heard, like me, I also love coming to Australia. So can we swap?
Favorite.
Can we? Yeah. So
Exchange.
exchange. Yeah. So you live in Bali, I live in Australia.
Okay,
Okay.
done.
Deal.
So a lot of Australians come to Bali for vacation. When I lived in Australia, I never came to Bali for a vacation, but we moved to Jakarta. For 3 years we lived in Jakarta.
So
and
you
worked
live in Jakarta, in the big city, in the capital city like Canberra.
This was my first cultural immersion and culture shock. Really.
Culture shock. Okay. So culture shock. Keyword culture shock. Okay.
So
Tell me more about that one.
because you know, I mentioned Canberra is very organized, very planned, and then I went from that city and living there to Jakarta, which is just so
busy.
and every sense, you know, you
A lot
what you
of
see, what you
people.
hear, you
Yeah.
know, everything was just comes at you.
But you were in Jakarta for 3 years. This is very, very interesting. Tell me more about that one.
My first year was really difficult because Jakarta was so new for me, and I learned so much in that year.
When was that, Ibu? Still remember?
2009?
2009?
2009? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Long time ago. Our children were small. The small one was a baby.
So you carried the baby
Carried him
from
everywhere.
Canberra to Jakarta, Jakarta, a bigger city in Indonesia.
So my first year there, I really was not happy, actually. I missed the work that I had in Canberra. I missed my family. I missed my friends. I found it difficult to live there and to make real connections. But I learned so much in my time there, and so I look back on that time as such a great moment in my life. So much learning in 1 year. To really, it's so different if you visit a country for a vacation. You know, you're just on the surface.
What did you do in Jakarta?
So in Jakarta, the plan was to take 1 year to just focus on the children.
Okay.
And that was nice, but for somebody that has always worked, actually that was a little bit challenging for me. I had times where I actually felt very lonely, and I've never been lonely in my life because I always find people to connect with. So I didn't have much chit-chat in my first year there. And then after 1 year, I did a few projects of work that I just got through my network, and then I also got involved with a school in Jakarta, a local school, to help run an English language program to volunteer.
So that's why her English is very good. It's very excellent anyway.
Well, I'm not a teacher, so I just did my best. But I also worked there on a microfinancing program. So in this
government
school,
program.
No, it was just a charitable, very informal charitable effort. And a lot of the families in that school were single mothers with their children. So to help them just start a simple business, maybe sewing, and they needed a machine or just, a small warung or something, and just use my own network to fundraise.
To help.
To help.
Yeah.
But what was really beautiful was I wanted to help, but actually what happened was they helped me. So I learned so much.
They help you in terms of education, in terms of knowledge about
knowledge,
that. Yeah,
different ways of living, but also
different ways of
values and questioning my own values, but also learning about things that I had grown up with as part of the culture in Australia.
Culture in Australia, yeah. So now our topic is culture East meets West. So
Yes,
it's
perfect.
fantastic, perfect. Yeah.
But I learned so much from these women because they had strength that I didn't have at that time. I was really struggling. You know, I learned about community and the importance of community and how powerful community can be, even in the most difficult situation. It was very humbling for me.
Well, you were saying that living for 3 years in Jakarta was a really learning opportunity. Yes, learning opportunity. Then, after living 3 years in Jakarta, you moved to Bali.
Yes.
Tell me more about that one.
Yes. Well, while we were in Jakarta, we did come to Bali for sometimes for a short holiday because
short
it's
holiday.
So close. So that was the first time I came. I came as a tourist, you know. And of course, who doesn't love Bali? So beautiful, the color, the blue sky, the palm trees, the beach, the everything. But I think also just for people that have grown up in Bali, maybe don't
Feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't feel that.
So that's why we need to exchange some time. Yeah, I go to Australia or
Yes.
Balinese
Yes.
go somewhere
Yes.
all over the world, then go back. When they go back, then realize that Bali is this.
Yes, yes. But something Bali gets inside you if you spend some time here.
Yeah.
And you fall in love with Bali. So after 3 years in Jakarta, we were thinking about where we would go next, back to Australia or somewhere else for a
Yes.
few years.
Yes.
And then my sister, I have a younger sister, and she works in education, and she had come to visit the Green School in Bali. She was very interested to research and understand what this school was about as a more progressive model of education. And then, of course, she came to Jakarta and spent some time with us.
With you, yeah.
She said, if you can take your children to Bali for 1 year to the Green School, I think it would be great for the children. And so we organized that to come for 1 year, and we've been here ever since. That was more than 10 years ago.
So the planning was 1 year, but now it has been for 11 years already. Yeah, so it is very lovely. Okay, so then you decided after Jakarta, you decided to live in Bali. What you have been doing in Bali, Ibu?
Well, I started the first year just settling in, focusing on the children.
Yeah.
And was still involved with some projects in Jakarta.
Jakarta, yeah.
But over time, I stepped out of that, and then I asked the school, "What can I do to help? How can I help?" I had never worked in a school, but I think Ibu, as you get older,
Oh no!
you realize
You are 26, 27.
That's right.
Okay.
Correct.
So I'm 28.
Yes, you-
Yeah. Okay. So we have only 1 year in different. Anyway, so we are
That's right.
young.
That's
Okay.
right. Very young.
Yeah.
But I think we realize, whatever work we have done in our lives, we have some skills,
Yes.
and that you can transfer these skills to different situations.
So skill for women are very important. Okay.
So I thought about the school and what goes on in this school, and even though I'm not a teacher and I haven't worked in a school, I could offer something to help review some things.
Yeah.
And my first thing was to look at the local scholar program
Yeah.
in the school.
In the school.
And review the structure and who's in there, where do they go when they graduate, and how is this funded, and to make some recommendations to the board at that time.
Yeah.
And then as life sometimes happens, one thing leads to another thing, and got involved in a few more projects and volunteering, and then started doing some actual work for the school, and was invited to chair the board of the school at that time. So I don't know how it happened exactly, but I'm forever grateful.
Happening by nature.
Yes. But I think this is something maybe women in particular are good at. You know,
Yeah.
Can I help here? Can I do this? And one thing leads to another.
It flows
making
like
opportunities.
water. Yeah, it flows like water. Yeah, you have been here. You have been experiencing Bali for 11 years. I mean, while you are in Bali, what does Bali mean to you? It's an easy question.
It's hard to put into words, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. After some years, I remember going home to Australia at Christmas time. And something switched, something flipped. Because usually if you're living abroad, when you go home, you feel like you're going home.
Homesick.
And when you leave home, Australia, you feel like you're going back to the place you live. But something switched. After a few years, when I got on that plane, I felt like I was going to visit Australia. And when I got on the plane at the end of the visit to come back to Bali, I felt like I was coming home. So I said before, Bali gets under your skin. Bali gets into your heart and into your mind in so many ways. And even though I will always be a guest in Bali, this is not my place, this is not my island, but I feel very
I
lucky,
hope that
very lucky.
this island will be the last of yours.
I hope. I already told my family when I die, I want to be buried here. You can cremate me in Bali.
Don't talk about die. We will die
One
together.
day. But no, I've learned so much from Bali. Again, I think the idea of community, it's something I don't experience in the same way in Australia. It's so strong here, and I've realized how important that is for me, something I want my children to experience. And I think the opportunity that the Balinese people in particular give to allow us to learn about the culture. It's not closed to the visitors. If we can put the effort in and make the friendships and the relationships, we're allowed in to Bali, you know, and it's beautiful.
Well, we will be celebrating the friendship, the international friendship, on the 30th of July. So in implementing that, not only a friendship day, but we also do sort of like this a chit-chat with people all over the world, like that. Okay, just now I heard about your children, your 3 children. Do they learn about Bali when they live in Bali? What do you think?
Oh yes. I have two children that have graduated from school. They're out in the world, you know, and I have one still at school, in high school. My eldest son, you know, loves Indonesia. I think he will never leave Indonesia. He will spend his whole life here. I think he finds it difficult in a more Western culture. I think he feels too many rules, too contained, and I think he loves the tropics. He loves the weather. He loves being outdoors.
He gets used to be here, yeah?
Yeah, but also
Yeah,
he's
like
put
that.
a lot of work in. He has really learned the language of Bahasa
Bahasa
Indonesia.
Indonesia. What about you? You also.
Yeah, but my brain is not so good.
I mean, well,
just so slow.
but you understand when people talking about Bahasa
Always
Indonesia.
trying. You know.
Yeah. Anyway.
But he really put the work in, you know. He would go to the warung and sit with the people,
Socialize.
have a coffee, chit-chat. He is
Chit-chat,
Mr.
chit-chat in the warung.
But what that has meant for him is that he has explored a lot of Indonesia because he can take himself anywhere and make a connection.
He has time.
Through the language
Yeah.
and through
He has more
listening
time than you,
and he
actually.
has more time.
Yeah.
And he has more time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, you know, he absolutely loves it. Bali, but all of Indonesia is his world, I think,
His
in a lot
world.
of ways.
Yeah.
But also my daughter, who, you know, has been away, and when she came back, I remember she said to me, "Mum, as soon as I smell the incense in Bali, it's like
Dupa.
oh,
Incense.
I don't know, it just triggers something, and everything's all right." That's what she said.
Wah. Oh, thank you for saying that. Anyway, Ibu Kate, what you have learned from the Eastern or in terms of Bali perspective?
Yeah, I think the importance of family is
Family.
something I see here, and I think is something we all need to be reminded of wherever we come from. Our obligation to family and our obligation to community, because with this sense of community, there's an obligation to give, but there's also through that we receive. And I see this as an area of difference. So it is not about putting yourself first. Maybe sometimes, but definitely not always.
Not always.
But thinking about the collective, the community, the family, sharing, supporting,
family,
yes,
community, sharing,
yes,
yeah,
Yes.
collective,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
in terms
I
of
see that as a difference. I feel the culture of, and I don't want to criticize my home country, my home culture. I see
there is
like
always a strength.
good and bad everywhere.
Yeah, there is always a good and bad everywhere.
But there is
yeah.
a focus on the individual.
Yes.
You know, and your own goals.
Us
and
too.
Your own
Us too. There is always a good and bad about us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think yeah.
But to me, that's the thing I see and I love, and I have learned so much about.
Okay, good that you have learned about that one. And what has Bali taught you? Other than this kind of things, is there anything? Tell me more about that one.
Yeah, I think it's taught me many things, but I think sometimes it's about creating rituals in your life.
Ritual in your life, yeah.
So I am not Balinese Hindu. I don't understand their religion. I get the opportunity to participate in ceremonies
Participate,
sometimes.
yeah.
It's
So
beautiful.
you are allowed to participate.
I am, and that is so special. But I've also learned there's a rhythm to the days and the weeks and the years in Bali. There are rituals that create this rhythm.
Yeah.
And I think whatever our background or religion, we can also create these rituals and rhythms to our day and our week. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So just taking a moment in the morning to light some incense, take a moment to sit quietly. You know, that is how I start my day. And these are things Bali has taught me.
Oh, that's
I think it's good for us.
That's very good.
It's
Yeah.
good for us to build in some ritual.
To me
into
too.
our day.
So now I realize that. Yeah. So once again, being Balinese sometimes do not realize that something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So
Can I tell you one more thing?
yes, please.
When I lived in Jakarta, this is not about Bali, but it is a little bit about Bali too. When I lived in Jakarta, every day I walked from my children's school to an office where I worked, and every day I walked past the same security man outside an office. And one day, after many months, every day I saw him and I'd say Selamat pagi Pak. One day he stopped me and he said, Ibu, you should just slow down a little. You walk so fast. And I said, oh, I didn't realize. And he said, yeah, you walk so fast. You're so hot. You're red. And nobody moves like that when they're outside. He said, you're in Indonesia. Look at the Ibus here on the street. Look how they are walking. You need to take your speed and make it half. Yeah. Because you're in the tropic, you must conserve your energy.
Slow, man, like that.
I know, but it was really, he was right, and it wasn't just about like how quickly I was walking. It was about
Yes,
just trying to do so
I
many
understand
things every
that
day and-
people in Australia is walking like running, half running for me as a Balinese. Yeah. So maybe that
It
one.
was good advice. I always remember that man.
And
It's good
did you
advice.
implement it in Bali?
I think so. I think so.
But you still anyway.
I do still move fast. But
Anyway, that's good. That's some things that I, as Balinese, need to learn.
yeah.
I mean, we need to move. Yeah, moving very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
But
Yep.
it's everything just feels a little more gentle.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a kind of culture as well. Yeah. Yes. Talking about that, what have you embraced about the Balinese culture?
I think the remembering daily the importance of family, the importance of community, sharing, having my own rituals, but sharing rituals with my family too. The simple things, eating together.
Eating together, makan bersama ya. Jadi ini penting, family, keluarga itu penting. Menurut Ibu Kate ini suatu yang maybe it's a small thing, simple things, but means a huge,
Yes.
means a lot ya.
And they feed us, you know. These things nourish us. They make us just feel part of something.
Part
and
of
I think
something.
that's very important. I think I've learned a lot about food, about how to eat from what is around you. You know, so. You know, in Australia, you go into a supermarket, and
Big
is-
supermarket, and then you just grab and then
But there is
take
so
something.
much. It's just so
Maybe
much.
too much, yeah.
Too much. There is too much.
Sometimes too much is too much.
Too much is too much.
Yes.
But here I see more people eating more seasonally. You know, what is available is what is there. You know, what has been grown is what is there at the market.
So
you know.
maybe people say, how much is too much? Like that.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so maybe this is the last question that we would like to ask you about. Well, we have faced pandemic COVID-19 for 2 years.
yes.
We have faced that, and we are always together to overcome that one. According to your opinion, how Bali can improve from this one?
Yeah. Well, that's a big question. Well, it's. I guess I don't feel qualified to talk about what Bali should and shouldn't do, but
This is your opinion.
I want what the Balinese people want. I want what they feel is best for them. I am very happy that things are opening and that the economy can lift again. And I hope it's done in a way that puts the Balinese people first. I think things have changed and maybe they will be different in the future. I don't know. But I think for Bali, it's always the building the economy, having the tourists come, but in a way that is good for the people and good for the island, good for the environment as well. And that's a challenge, I think.
Yes. So that's why we need to break, or we need to pass that challenge. So we need to overcome that challenge together.
Yeah.
Yeah, here in Bali, not only Balinese can do that, but it's also some input from you, from our dear friends from all over the world that visit Bali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing because in some ways we all want Bali to progress and develop. But there's so much here that is such an ancient living. As things progress and develop, I think is the key.
Yes,
and
in the same
that's my
time.
hope for Bali.
Yeah, sure. Do you think that it will be happening?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. Do you?
Yes, for sure. Yes, we need to be very optimistic about that one.
Yeah.
That about the improvement of Bali, the
Yeah.
Bali progress like that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so once again, Ibu K, thank you very much for making this happen, and we have been chit-chat for a while, and I hope that we can overcome this situation. No more COVID, because 2 years period of
Enough.
is enough. I think, yeah, it's enough.
We're ready to move forward.
Yes.
But thank you, Ibu Ika. I love a chit chat.
Yes.
You know, one of the things I discovered when I first came to Indonesia and Bali, no matter what our different backgrounds,
Yeah.
education,
Yes.
family life, language, everything, I have always found it so special that humor and laughter, jokes, are like universal.
Yes.
Wherever you go, you can find something funny.
Wherever you go, or the place, wherever you go, is a school for us.
Yes.
The place
It
to
is.
learn.
It is.
Yeah. Whoever we meet is teachers
Teacher?
for us.
Yes.
You are my teachers.
Yes, and you are mine.
Thank
and I am
you.
your student.
We are teachers, we are students, we are mothers, we are parents.
We are. And we're both nearly 30 years old.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that is the most important since we are both nearly 30 years. Thank you very much, Ibu. Okay.
Thank you, Ibu Ika. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes.